Good morning, dear children. So, let us continue with the social class where we left in the previous. So, basically, we are done with how many chapters? Okay, so one from geography, part 1, history, that is part 2, and one from civics, that is part 3. So, we have finished one chapter each from all these three sections, right? So, now let us again go to the second chapter of history. So, this is how we will proceed. Okay, we will do one chapter each from all the sections accordingly, so that we we take all the sections together. So today let us start with the second chapter of history, as the previous chapter, that is chapter 2 of geography, we already done with the chapter. So page number 110. Okay, early humans. So this chapter basically it will tell us about the human being. That's about me, you, we, all of us, the present state of human being that we are, or our physical structure that we have. And also it will tell us about the various things about us, that is our lifestyle, or you can say the places that where we live in, the shelter, the type of shelter that we have. And also, yes, how did this process of development, or you can say the evolution of human being, okay, how did it take place, when. So all these things will come to, and also the different ages, okay, during this process of development. Plus we'll get to know the various tools which were used by the early human being, and the purpose for what it was used. Yeah, that's all, right? So it's very simple, and also very interesting. So basically we will know about the evolution, about our, this, what do you call, our predecessors, you can say our forefathers, you can say that. Or the early ancient human. We will know about the prehistoric, the connection between that. Okay, so all these things. Okay, so let us start then. Page number 110, chapter 2, early human. Let's get started. So early humans lived in caves and peat dwellings in order to keep themselves warm, as well as protected from the dangers of nature like lightning, thunderstorm, and wild animals. In modern times, humans don't live in caves, but there are places where they live in houses built above the ground level on stilts. They are called changars and are found in Assam. Can you think why people live in such houses? There's a hint given. Remember the geography of the region. Alright. So basically, it's not only with regard to the houses, even with regard to this, what do you call, our entire lifestyle, the clothes that we wear, the food that we eat. These are all influenced by that, you can say, the geography of that particular area, of that particular region where we live in. Now, you see, now since they have talked about the shelter, that is the houses, like early human being, they didn't have such type of modern houses which we have today. But however, it was needed for them to protect themselves, to safeguard themselves from the wild animals, from the different calamities of natures and all. So that's why they used to provide themselves shelter in these caves, in these peat dwellings, and so on. Now the houses that we have today, the houses that we live in, okay, presently, these houses, if you see, before it's get constructed in that particular area, in that particular region, there are so many process which takes place. Like many times, I don't know whether you have heard or not, it's called, there's also a process called tasting of soil. That means, that land, that soil, it is being tasted. That now, for example, say you're going to construct a building, okay, of say 2 story or 3 story, whatever. Now the size of that particular building, 2 story or 3 story, and the soil where you are going to build that, it is being, first of all, you have to take a test of that soil, that whether this soil will be able to hold that particular structure or not. In case, supposingly, without proper taste, without proper process, you have built a house, fine. And supposingly say that particular soil is not suitable for such type of houses. Now what happens is that just a small natural calamity, be it heavy rainfall, when even in due to rainfall, houses can get collapsed. Why? Because that particular soil will get loosened. It will not be able to hold it firmly. As a result, the structure will get, it will fall down and it will get demolished. That can be the reason. Otherwise, this recently we are having, very often we are experiencing this earthquake. Even yesterday there was a earthquake around in the evening, somewhere around 3 4 p.m., something like, I don't remember the time, something like that. So if such type of things they occur, and the houses where you have constructed, if that is not suitable, if that area, that land, that particular geography is not suitable for this, ultimately everything will go in vain. So this is, see, that is why it's given in, see, in that blue box, the last line within the bracket, hint, remember the geography of the region. Basically they're giving an example of this jangar which is found in Assam. But why such type of houses are built in Assam? Okay, why not in other places? Likewise, even in other places you will see the houses which they build, or which they construct, there are so many factors which are taken into consideration, especially in terms of geography, the area. I hope you understood about this shelter and all. Okay, now let us start with the text. According to scientists, life began on Earth some 3,500 million years ago. Underline that. See, they're saying that life began on Earth. It doesn't mean that human being came into existence. Please clear your understanding that we are not only the form of, life that exists on this earth. There are also various forms of life. So as per the scientists, life began on Earth some around 3,500 million years ago. Subsequently, human beings developed in stages over millions of years till they reach the most advanced stage of development. And the modern human, that is I, you, we all, which is being termed as Homo sapiens. Underline that. The modern human. What do you mean by Homo sapiens? So it is this modern human being, that's you, I, we, that we represent the most advanced stage of this process of development of the human being. Okay, or you can say the process of changes that took place, evolution. Modern humans probably evolved between 200,000, which can be also read as 2 lakh, and 100,000 years ago. All right, underline that. It's probably, it's not sure. See, there's a term called probability, chances. Modern humans probably evolved between 2 lakh and 1 lakh years ago. In the initial stages of development, initial, that means in the beginning, okay? In the beginning stages of development, when it started, humans walked like apes. I hope you have seen apes. See, there's a figure 2.1, right? The different stages of human evolution. You see, at first, there's a picture of an ape walking with, with this, what you call, 4 legs, you can say that. Even the hands are being used as legs. Gradually, from, they started becoming, taking the posture, started becoming straight. And if you see the process, the final shape of the human structure started walking in 2 legs with a erect posture, with a straight, So, in the initial stages of development, human walked like apes. Gradually, they learned to stand on their feet with a straight posture. I already told you. Their hands became free, which helped them to hold things better. They could pick up and throw things to defend themselves. The body structure of the earliest human beings changed over time. Their brain became larger while their jaws and teeth got reduced in size. They learned to adapt themselves to their surroundings, and in this process, they learned to use stones to kill the prey, for crushing nuts, and so on. They realized that sharp edges of broken stones were very useful for cutting wood and spiking animals. Further, they learned to use stones for making tools and weapons according to their needs. Alright, so basically, this paragraph tells us about the posture of human being during this process of evolution, and what are the benefits, or the, you can say, the advantages that we as a human being got with this evolution, with these changes taking place. Like earlier, when as I told you that figure 2.1, even our hands were occupied, as because we needed the support of hands for walking. But gradually, okay, when the posture became straight, we were able to walk on two legs. Our hands were free. Then these hands were used for multiple purposes, for holding things, for picking up, for throwing, for defending our own self, right? And also the body structure also got changed over time. And also at the same time, when we talk about the structure, it means it also implies to our face structure, the brain, the jaw, the teeth, which got reduced in size. And as a result, we adapted ourselves to the surroundings. Adaptability is a very important factor. Gradually, it's also happened that we also learned how to make use of stones, how to make use of stones for our own purpose, like to kill the prey, for crushing nuts, and so on. Next, we have Stone Age. Let's see what the Stone Age has to offer us. The prehistoric age is also known as Stone Age. Underline that. Why? Why prehistoric age is called Stone Age? Let's see. Because stones were used on a large scale. Please highlight this as well. So, why this prehistoric age is termed as Stone Age is because since stones were used at a very large scale, at a very greater quantity or great amount, we were very often occupied with these stones in each and every spheres of our life during those days. I'm talking about during those days, not now. Stones played a very important role for our life. And this particular Stone Age is divided into four periods, that is Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic, and Chalcolithic. Even their period is being mentioned, okay, the years, like see, you have to mark it up, okay, figure 2.2, that's very important. Paleolithic, around 200,000, or you can say 2 lakh, whatever, 2 lakh to 12,000 years ago. Mesolithic, around 12,000 to 10,000 years ago. Neolithic, around 6,000 to 4,000 years ago. Chalcolithic, around 4,000 to 1,700 years ago. Alright, so this table, you have to memorize it very well. I hope it is given in detail about this Paleolithic, Mesolithic. Where is Neolithic? Is it not being mentioned in your text? Just hold on, I'm just looking for your content of of this particular chapter. Alright, as of now I'm able to see this Paleolithic and Mesolithic age. Do I have all the pages or is any page missing? At times it happens, new book, right? No, it is there. Okay, Neolithic and all, maybe we will see in the next chapter. For this chapter, we will see in detail basically these two ages of the Stone Age, that is Paleolithic and Mesolithic. Alright. Okay, let us continue. The word Paleolithic has come from two Greek words, that is paleo and lithos, which means old and stone. Now see, paleo means old and lithos means stone. Underline that. Paleo and lithos, which means old and stone. Sometimes the question may be, what does the word paleo mean? Don't write stone. It means paleo means old, lithos means stone. And this word is a Greek word, paleo and lithos. The name itself shows the importance of stone tools and implements. This period started around 2 million years ago and ended in about 12,000 years ago. It's given there, right? Yes. Figure 2.2, as we read, the same thing. It is given in the form of a chart. It is described in the form of words. That this period started around 2 million years ago and ended in about 12,000 years ago. Certain environmental changes started taking place about 12,000 years ago. This marked the beginning of the Mesolithic Age, or you can say the Middle Stone Age. Alright, now this is something, even though It's very short, just a sentence, one sentence, but it has got a very big message for us. Yeah. Environmental changes. Another thing, as just now we were, yeah, during in this as we started the chapter, we were discussing about the shelter, the different types of shelter, right? Which basically depend upon the geography of that particular area, of that particular region. Likewise, environmental changes. Now, see, what is environment? Environment is basically the surrounding in which a living being exists, right? That's called environment. So even geography can be, it is a part of environment. So overall, if I tell you this environmental changes, the changes in environment affects our life in a great manner. The best example is right in front of you. See the process of evolution, the different stages of human evolution. As this paragraph says that certain environmental changes started taking place about 12,000 years ago. And when these environmental changes started taking place, a new age began, which was termed as Mesolithic. Or you can also say that, sorry, Middle Stone Age. Like the word Paleolithic, let us see from where the word Mesolithic has been derived. The term Meso means middle in Greek. Okay, that is also a Greek word. Underline that, Meso. Now, this period, that is the Mesolithic period, marked a phase of transition, a period of change. Okay, phase of transition, which means a period of change. This period marked a phase of transition between the Paleolithic and the Neolithic ages. It was followed by the Neolithic and Chalcolithic ages, which were far more advanced than the preceding ages in terms of technology and methods of tool making, as well as different aspects of life. We shall read about them in the next chapter. Yeah, as I told you, in this chapter we will basically deal about Paleolithic and Mesolithic. About this Neolithic and we will discuss about in the next chapter. Okay, so Mesolithic. Mesolithic is that period in between, okay, when it was changing from this, what do you call, Paleolithic to Neolithic. The change which took place in between, that's called Mesolithic. So basically in Mesolithic, or you can say the Middle Stone Age, various changes took place. Okay, many changes in the field of, what do you call, in the field of lifestyle, in the field of tools that is being used, in the field of what do you call, the different way of life, the food habits, the shelters, and so many change. That's why it's called the phase of transition from from Paleolithic to Neolithic. So the gap in between, that is Mesolithic. Okay. Before we go to Mesolithic, let us start with Paleolithic age in detail. First of all, shall we today? We'll continue in the next class. Fine, because I have already done this page 110. Otherwise, it will be too much for you then again. Hmm? Within one day, so much. Yeah, we'll do it in the next class. No worries. But go through the text, whatever has been explained to you. Fine. I'll mark it here. That's page number 111 up till this, just above the topic called Paleolithic Age, up till Stone Age. So please go through the text and study well. Okay. Be at home. See you in the next class.